My name is Jose Ramirez, and I'll be doing a topic on religion involving creating kids in the novel Bless Me With Love by Anaya. Passage I'll use will be on page 212, and it starts at the middle of the page saying, "You have sinned" by Abel, and ends on page 213 with "Kill him." Pretty much the passage signifies when Florence, who doesn't believe in God, kind of like gets beat up for what his, for his non-believing by the rest of the kids. So my first question to you guys is, why do the kids beat up Florence?
I feel like they beat him up because he didn't believe, he didn't conform to what everyone else did, and they kind of don't understand why he doesn't believe in God and everything.
Aside from religious, looks like because he didn't believe, and that's mainly why. But aside from religious facts, why do you think?
Because they don't understand what his views are. So in that case, they not so fear them, but they don't understand, and so I think that they act out aggressively.
So anybody else have?
Yeah, I think probably just because of the parents, how their beliefs, they're kind of maybe upset at Florence because I guess he's not doing what their parents want him to do or the kids to do.
Which actually brings me to my next question. Can we blame the parents for these actions committed by the kids in any way?
I feel like you can, because they're the one who raised them, and that they're the one who gave their standard of values to them.
I think that the parents are not directly to blame. However, they did sort of influence, because like she said, they were the ones who raised them. They did not raise them to be tolerant. They basically said, hey, this is what's right, and everybody else is wrong. Everybody else is wrong.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Where they just simply told them this is the way it is, and the kids can't, they're too young to realize, see aside from the fact that, there are other religious beliefs. It's a good point.
They kind of raised him them ignorant. Yeah.
How does Antonio react to Florence not being religious?
Antonio, he's somewhat, he's shocked that Florence isn't religious, but his family did sort of raise him to be tolerant, largely because of his parents. His mother was from the Llano, and his father was a vaquero, so he was basically taught saying, hey, people are different, but that's okay. So while he was sort of mystified by the fact that Florence doesn't believe, he can understand that it is possible. So he doesn't care all that much.
Anybody else have any points?
What was the question again?
How does Antonio react to Florence not being religious?
I think he's okay with it, and he not agrees with it, but it's okay that he has his own opinion and thinks that not everyone has to follow the same thing. Because like him, he has different views and perspectives on now his religion and life.
And then towards the end of the book, he tries to introduce him to the golden carp and everything. So he wants to show him that there are other religions out there, and that just because what happened to his parents, he shouldn't blame God for what happened.
So do you guys think Florence kind of broadened his horizon of religious views, kind of gave him an act to kind of a direction to act upon, to find new questions, find new beliefs?
Yeah.
Such as the golden carp.
Basically, what's happening in Florence is showing him that, hey, it's maybe your church isn't correct. Antonio, he's been raised on the belief that good things happen to good people, and so now that he's seeing that good things don't always happen to good people, he's starting to realize that maybe his church is wrong, and that's opening up new possibilities for him. He's saying, if my church is wrong on this matter, maybe it's wrong about everything, and so maybe God doesn't exist. Maybe the golden carp is the true God. Maybe both of them are wrong. Maybe the God of Protestantism is.
So my next question is going to be, does Ultima have an effect on Antonio's view of Florence? Does she play a role kind of like of his acceptance, of his ability to see beyond his conformity?
I say she does because she teaches him that not everyone's the same, and she teaches him like different things that he would have never known if Ultima would have never came to the town. So I think that she does play a big part in his acceptance of Florence.
What do you think he shows him as growing up? What do you think she brings to the table?
Just like different views of life, like how like he said his mother wasn't the same as his father, but they still came together and made a family. Like everyone just has different perspectives on life.
You guys have anything to elaborate on?
Well, I agree with her because when she first went to their house, I guess when they went to go pick berries, her and Antonio, Antonio said that that's when he first realized how beautiful the world was, how beautiful everything was around him. So I can say that she changed his point of view on certain things.
So it broadened his horizons for Florence. Yeah.
Points.
So who do you think had a bigger turning point on Antonio? Ultima or Florence? Who had a bigger effect? Who had
I think Florence because he showed Antonio the golden carp. And then from there, he started to ask Ultima, and Ultima was like, this is because of this, and this is because of that.
maybe they have a different opinion, different view?
I think that Ultima did because Florence basically showed him just that one thing, and it was just like that. He said, hey, maybe your church is wrong, and that was it. Ultima showed him the powers of nature, and why certain herbs are used for this. She showed him how to heal, why this is important or that's important. So while Florence did have a really profound effect, it was just one brief incident. So Ultima is going to have a longer lasting impact on Antonio's life.
And I think Ultima had a bigger effect on him because in the future now he can consider that maybe he wants to be a witch or like how she did because of everything she taught him, and she taught him that he doesn't need to follow what his parents want him to be. He should do something that makes him happy.
Anybody else? No? Okay. Next question. If the kids were familiar with other religions, such as Florence, religious views, would Florence still have been beat up or treated the way he was?
I don't think so. I don't think he would have gotten beat up because there's so much diversity in the religions, so that they would think that everyone has their own opinion. They would leave whoever it is that has a different belief alone. Not just because they don't follow theirs doesn't mean that they should beat them up if they had different views on religions.
If the kids were familiar with other religions aside from what they were brought up on, would Florence still have been beat up?
Probably not, because it's like she said, they already have the knowledge that there are other beliefs out there, so they would say, hey, he just believes in something else, and that's okay. So they would have just left him alone.
So does the setting where they are affect the beating up of Florence and the intoleration of other religions?
I think so, because that part of the country is largely Catholic, and so he's a Protestant. Florence is a Protestant inside this. So he not only is this area Catholic, it's extremely Catholic. They believe, that basically dominates their lives, and so by saying that, hey, I don't believe in God. Not only do you not believe in Catholicism, I don't believe in God. What's the best word? It pushes them to the point of saying, this man, he's basically trying to unravel everything. Is what they see it as. So they attack him.
anybody else have an opinion on? Well, that concludes our Socratic seminar.